Hi everyone, it's Amber at Amber K. Boyd, attorney at law, giving you your legal lunch break. Today I'm going to focus on the Family Medical Leave Act, or FMLA. And I really want to focus on it because about in 17 days, there's going to be substantial changes to the act. There's going to be some expansion and there's also going to be some changes to it. The bill is to be signed tomorrow, so April 2nd. And so it's going to be really important for us to all understand the benefits and the protection that we have. First, I really want to focus on what protections do you have right now today, and also what benefits do you have today if you just so happen to have to file for FMLA. Now, in regards to the benefits, you can request continuous FMLA or you can request intermittent FMLA. Now, continuous FMLA means that you can request 12 weeks of leave. And intermittent FMLA means that you can request a day here or 2 or 3 or 4 days there in regards to leave if you meet certain requirements. And also, there's going to be protection that you receive if you request leave under the FMLA. And the protection really is substantial in regards to, one, your job has to hold your job for you, whether you take continuous FMLA or intermittent FMLA. So that's really, really important. Also, your job can't attempt to terminate you because you've taken FMLA. And if they do, you can file what's called a retaliation claim against your employer, and your job can't interfere with you taking FMLA, right? So if you request FMLA, your job can't just shoot under the rug and act like it's not occurring. Or if they do, you can file what's called an interference claim, and those are claims that you can file in federal court. Now, you only can receive those rights and those protections if you meet certain requirements. And so there are probably about several requirements that you need to make sure that you're meeting. And the first requirement is that there is an amount of hours that you have to work in order to receive FMLA. And the amount of hours are 1,250 hours that you have to work within a 52-week span of time. So if today you requested FMLA, your employer is going to look back 52 weeks and to see if you have worked at least 1,250 hours. Another thing, the second requirement is that your employer has to employ a minimum of 50 employees within a 75-mile radius. If you work for a large company, that's not going to be hard to meet it all. So I don't think that's necessarily something for you to worry about. Now, if you work for a smaller company, that's something you need to worry about and really start thinking and making sure your employer actually employs 50 employees within a 75-mile radius. Thirdly, there has to be a set reason as to why you're requesting the leave, and really typically it's going to break down to 4 reasons. The first reason is you as an employee are taking care of a child that was just born, or you are just received a foster care placement, or you just adopted a child. And so those are reasons why you can request leave. Secondly, you can request leave if you are caring for immediate family members suffering from a serious illness or injury. Thirdly, you can request leave if you yourself are suffering from a serious health condition. And lastly, you can request leave if you are caring for a member of active duty that was injured or is sick. So those are the reasons why you can request leave under the FMLA as it stands today. And you all, like I stated before, the act is being expanded. So the expansion piece of the act is only going to apply to employers with 500 or less employees. It also applies to employees who've been working for at least 30 days prior to the act becoming effective. Like I told you all before, the act is going to be signed tomorrow, but it won't go into effect until April 17th. There is an additional reason as to why you can request leave under the act, and that reason is if you are a parent or guardian who is caring for someone who's under the age of 18 because their school has been closed and your job has not offered you any teleworking opportunity, you can take advantage of this expansion. Also, the leave, so the time frame and the amount of time you receive under the act is going to be 12 weeks of leave. There is a pay requirement now. For the first 10 days, you are not going to be paid. However, as an employee, you can request any PTO that you've accrued up until that time to be paid out to you. And then after that, you're going to receive 2/3 of your pay at your regular rate of pay and for the regular number of hours that you would have worked if not for taking leave. So that's going to be really, really important under the Act. Also, one of the great benefits of the expansion is that you also receive the protection under the Act that we discussed previously. And this expansion ends on December 31st, 2020. So you can't elect to get any of the benefits of this expansion after December 31st, 2020. So that's really important going forward. So you all, there is also a new section to the Act that's going to be really important during these times. The new section only applies to employers with 500 or less employees, and it applies to full or part-time employees upon hiring. So you don't have to wait 30 days or you don't have to work a set number of hours for you to take advantage of the Act or take leave under this section. There are still certain criteria in regards to the reasons as to why you're taking the leave. And the reasons that are spelled out in the Act are: one, if there's a federal, state, or local quarantine has been issued. If you've been advised by a healthcare provider to self-quarantine due to the coronavirus, if you're caring for someone due to a federal, local, or state quarantine, if you yourself are experiencing symptoms due to the coronavirus, then you can request leave as well. And if you're caring for a child because their child care or school has closed, then you can request leave under this Act as well. The length of time that you can request is substantially shorter. You can only request 2 weeks. And typically, if you're a full-time employee, then that's going to be 80 hours. If you're a part-time employee, what they'll do is they'll look back into the average number of hours you worked, and you will be able to recover those number of hours. You can receive 100% of pay unless you're caring for immediate family member or a child under the Act. You still can receive those protections under the typical statute, and so that means that you can't be fired due to requesting leave under the Act, and your job has to be held for you. This Act, again, goes into effect on April 17, 2020, and it ends on December 31st, 2020. So really great protection and benefits under the new section of the law. Some of the pushback in regards to this law is the maximum employee number. I mean, so if you work for a large company, then you may not be able to request leave under this act, under the section. Also, there are some distinctions and also some carve-outs in regards to smaller businesses. So just keep that in mind and talk to your HR if you have any questions regarding that. And you can definitely give us a call as well. I really, really hope this video was helpful. I know we're in a time where a lot of things are changing. There are tons of moving parts, but I really, really hope that I can put out information to you all that's going to be beneficial. Also, we're also going to have the AKB Law Employment Clinic every Friday from 3 to 4, so I can answer any questions that you have. I really want to be of service to my community during this time, because I really believe that if we all work together, we can do amazing things. So please call in. I'll leave the number to the clinic in the description box. So please just call in if you have any questions. Also, I am starting a YouTube page, so please subscribe to the YouTube page just so I can make sure that I'm providing you all with content and you guys have knowledge of the content that I'm providing. I know this is a long video. Typically my videos are not this long, but there's a lot of things that are just changing, so I just want to make sure you all have the information and that you all know your rights. Again, as usual, please have a fantastic day, and as always, enjoy your lunch break. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.